I swear, it's like Ubisoft can't seem to catch a break. When one thing doesn't happen, something else does that can shake up their entire company. Hello, what's up, and welcome everyone. My name is Miss Quinn, and yeah, you guessed it. We're going to be talking about Ubisoft and their future. Recently, they have been very open about their struggles and about needing to be bought out, and only Tencent is the only obvious choice. They might buy out Ubisoft, but it's dragging its feet since honestly the Guillermo family want to remain in control. Holding out might not be such a good idea, however, because so far it's not looking so hot. The more they drag their feet, this just means that their future looks even more grim than it already does. Also, why do you want to remain in control when that hasn't been going well for you? I mean, it's a no brainer. It's the actions of the current people in charge that is the exact reason you all need to be bought out. Star Wars Outlaws wasn't the best at launch financially because of certain things that weren't implemented in the game, even though now I've been hearing that it's so much better. However, the things that were implemented should have been implemented in the very beginning. Star Wars was released August 27 of this year, and it still hasn't been financially successful. However, I am speaking as a person that has not played this game. I have only heard things about it. In all honesty, I am thinking about purchasing this game just so I can play it and see what the big deal is. XDefiant was released on May 21st of this year, and it's already shutting down its servers on June 3rd of next year. The servers shutting down was announced on December 3rd on the Ubisoft website by the executive producer Mark Robin. It reads as follows. Hello, XDefiant fans. I am unfortunately here today to announce that XDefiant will be shutting down. Starting today, December 3rd, 2024, new downloads and player registrations will no longer be available. We will still release our Season 3 content in the near future, exact date to be determined, and the servers will remain active until June 3rd of 2025. For those who have purchased the Ultimate Founders Pack, you will receive a full refund. Players who have made purchases within the last 30 days will also be fully refunded. Those refunds should automatically happen within 8 weeks of today, and you can find more details on our official website, xdefiant.com. A few years ago, Ubisoft and the SF dev team embarked on a bold adventure to develop a new arcade shooter called XDefiant. It was from the start an incredible challenge. Not only were we trying to shake up the genre by removing skill-based matchmaking while bringing back a more old-school arcade shooter experience, but we were also diving into the high-risk, high-reward realm of free-to-play. And for that, I want to applaud not only the dev team, but also Ubisoft leadership for taking that chance. Free-to-play in particular is a long journey. Many free-to-play games take a long time to find their footing and become profitable. It's a long journey that Ubisoft and the teams working on the game were prepared to make until very recently. But unfortunately, the journey became too much to sensibly continue. I am of course heartbroken to be writing this post. Yes, this game has been a personal passion for me for years, and yes, I know that not all challenges lead to victories, but I also want to recognize all of the developers who are being affected by this closure. Each and every one of them is a real person with a real life separate from our own, and they have all put so much of their own passion into making this game, and I hope that they can be proud of what they did achieve. I know that I will always be proud and grateful to have worked with such a great team, a team that really punched above its weight class. And what they achieved is truly remarkable. The early response from players when XDefiant launched was amazing. We broke internal records for the fastest game to surpass 5 million users, and in the end, we had over 15 million players play our game. That is something to be extremely proud of, especially considering how tough this genre is. So thank you to all the developers who put their passion into making this game. If there's one thing I hope we can all take away from this experience, it's the importance of open, honest communication between developers and players. This player first mentality, along with respectful, non toxic conversation between developers and players, has been one of the standout differences that made XDefiant so special. From my very first post about XDefiant, this was the vision I wanted to campaign, and I hope it leaves a positive mark on how the game industry treats its players and communities. To our players, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I want to express my deepest gratitude for the incredible community that has grown around XDefiant. Your passion, creativity, and dedication have inspired us every step of the way. With the utmost love and respect, Mark Robin, Executive Producer, XDefiant. Honestly, reading this, I'm like, I'm no lie, I'm really happy that they're just like, yeah, what we tried, it didn't work out because, it's a high risk and kind of like low reward type of thing. Because unfortunately, the market currently is overly saturated with these free to play things, like shooter arcade games, like they just said. So I do like the fact that they're open and honest, and they're even stating, hey, listen, if you did this, you're going to get a refund. They're automatically, talking about the refunds. No one has to ask them, hey, what about the refund? What about this? What about that? They don't have to ask, because right away that is tackled within the literal second paragraph. I love that. I love that. I love the transparency that was going on here. The fact that he also acknowledged, hey, listen, all of our developers are real people with real lives outside of this job. So that is also something that I do like about Mark's post here on Ubisoft.com. I don't know. I like it. I respect him. I respect him for posting that up. Unfortunately, that was not enough. You see, for years, Ubisoft was one of the leading game developer companies putting out memorable franchises like Far Cry, like Assassin's Creed, and games like Rainbow Six Siege. Honestly, I have Rainbow Six Siege on the side. I hate it personally. It's just, it fills me with trauma. Although even their golden franchise, Assassin's Creed, is in trouble with massive layoffs affecting their newest title, Shadows. They have in fact stated that half of the team is completely new to game development. They have never touched a game before, which in my opinion is hopefully a good thing. I only say that because hopefully, since they're new, they'll probably be more passionate about their work and what they're doing, and hopefully they'll want to make a name for themselves. That's what I'm striving for. That's what I'm thinking about. I myself have applied to some places because I have always wanted to work, within narrative development. I always wanted to. And I mean, hey, maybe now is a sign I can finally work in game development. Maybe this is a sign that I can, okay? But just like what happened with their quadruple A title, Skull and Bones, and what they said, they just need to get comfortable with not owning their company. Because, hey, if you want to be bought out, you cannot have control of your company. It's kind of a no-brainer. Like I said, why would you want to be in control when that's kind of what got you there? People are starting to vote with their wallet, so to speak, a lot more to show that we don't like a game or to show that we don't like the direction that a company is headed towards. Especially when I'm seeing that many companies are just wanting to chase that Fortnite money. Because yes, Fortnite is good. It's an free to play shooter, but you do spend a lot of money. You spend a lot of money on the season pass, you spend money on the skins, and overall it's a really entertaining and fun community. However, not every company is going to be able to have a piece of that pie, and it's something that they kind of have to live with, unfortunately. I don't know if Fortnite has any proper competition, but I don't know. I rather just like, if I was a gaming company, I wouldn't even want to tackle Fortnite things because I'm like, hey, that's just kind of like a failure waiting to happen. I mean, look at what's currently happening with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. But hey, that's another video for another day. Ubisoft, though, has had failure after failure, in my opinion. Assassin's Creed games used to come out every single year, but after Unity, they've had to ditch that motto because, well, it was obvious with its unfinished state. Now, many times, I honestly don't care about most glitches, in all honesty. I find them funny sometimes, but I do find it annoying when they are either game breaking glitches or glitches that make the camera look like I just took 2 shots of whiskey, a few dabs of weed, and went straight to a rave party. But what I can say for Ubisoft at this point is that it looks like the only way to save them is by selling out some of their IPs, of course, which is honestly what it's looking like they have to do. Next year in 2025, they could be forced to sell the IPs of both Assassin's Creed and Rainbow Six Siege. And Rainbow Six Siege is still going on strong. A lot of people still play it. It still has a heavy emphasis on the community, which I do like because I do see people play it. I do see people stream it on Twitch. And as I said, Assassin's Creed is their golden goose. So I cannot imagine that they'll be happy that they have to, sell the IP. I just wonder what kind of company would jump at the chance to buy those IPs. No doubt Sony would try and get a piece of it because they have been trying to acquire more and more things. But unfortunately, I just feel like this has kind of been a long time coming with Ubisoft. Like, their Far Cry does well, but again, it's their Assassin's Creed game does well. But again, they're coming out with Star Wars Outlaws did not do so hot. They came out with XDefiant, unfortunately, came out this year and it is just shutting down its doors next year. I am upset that this is happening because I look at it as a form of, this is somebody's livelihood. This is somebody who has worked with the company for years and is now possibly going to get the boot just because their game did not do so well or just because the company isn't doing so hot entirely. However, it's like the Guillermo family has to realize, like, hey, you can't remain in control. And the longer you try to hold out, the worse your company is going to get. And you're going to have to sell these IPs that you hold so near and dear to yourself. I mean, I thought I was never going to buy another Assassin's Creed game after the whole, oh, gamers have to get comfortable with not owning games. Okay, so if we don't own them, then piracy isn't really stealing. Because according to you, we don't own the game. So if we don't own it, how can we really steal it? Anyway, I recently bought Assassin's Creed Mirage just because I was like, I finally want to buy another Assassin's Creed game. Because I don't know if they're actually going to sell the IPs, but I might as well buy it while Ubisoft owns them. I don't know. I'm kind of weird. And when it comes to Star Wars Outlaws and when it comes to, what's it called? Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. I do want to buy those as well. I want to judge them sincerely because I've played them. I genuinely, for the most part, have liked the company Ubisoft, but recently I have not liked a lot of choices that they have been making. I don't know, but I do want to purchase Star Wars Outlaws, at least Star Wars Outlaws, just so I can see how it handles. Anyway, guys, that is it for me. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Tell me, what is your favorite Ubisoft game? Unfortunately, I know they're not really the best liked company. Well, because we have every reason to dislike them. I mean, oh, you have to get used to not owning your games. It's like, oh, okay, that's easy for someone that makes millions and millions of dollars to say. But now they're literally running with their tail in between their legs and saying, hey, we need somebody to buy us out, but we want to stay in control. No, it doesn't actually work that way. When you're bought out, you lose control. Just ask Logan Roy. If you ever watch Succession, you'll understand where that's coming from. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much. Tune in for the next video where I actually am going to discuss some